Hello everyone! Welcome back to this Enigmatica 6 expert playthrough! We are now on episode 42, which is quite a many episodes, and it got me thinking that down below me, under my feet, it's been quite a long time since we updated the map. And, you know, this whole section here on the map is different. We have a whole thing over here, the cobbleworks, that I'm super proud of, that isn't at all present on our map. So I'm thinking we expand our map a little bit and get things updated. Also, like, roads are going to be different. There's going to be a lot different. So I'm going to pop these off and get to duplicating and creating new maps. Catch you after. Okay, so we have the map here, and now let's go over and get our cobbleworks. This is going to be the cool part, I think. So I'm just going to, like, shoot ourselves over. Zoom. And then we're going to hit the map. Hey, wait, what? What is this? Just something out here in the middle of the woods? Ending. It's just blinking. Interesting. Let's land. Alright, I've landed, and there's clearly like a pedestal here and stairs. This looks like some sort of computer, right? It does. It looks like it's got a blinking hard drive light, a disk drive, and everything. Let's walk up there and see what's going on. Deep thought. Well, it does appear to be in some sort of deep thought. It's doing something. I don't know. Let's go back and complete our map, and we'll check this out again towards the end of the episode, I think. Okay, our current table is not large enough, so let's go ahead and get this expanded and get some maps going. A little bit of a jigsaw, right? That's okay. It's a pretty small and simple one. Wow, and there's all of our new stuff here. We can see clearly, right, our new altar over there, our ritual station here, this new building, all of our new roads are present. Pretty neat stuff. We have the new tree farm, and then, of course, expanded over to see our cobbleworks building and all of that. And in the future, I do want to expand over here. I want to make this a whole, like, field of gathering. Of course, I want it to be automated, and I feel like drones might be the cool way to go. But before we do that, we have to come up with a renewable sort of energy source in order to keep generating pressure for the drones. That will come later, of course. So, for today's tasks, let's look at our quest book. Aha! We progressed all of this in the last episode, and we got the runes necessary. We should be able to go upgrade our blood altar tier 2. However, we need to make the apprentice blood orb. Before we go do anything, let's try and understand what we need to do in order to progress, right? So we have the apprentice blood orb, which needs this caged heart inside the blood altar with 7,000 LP. This part's easy. We gotta get it tier 2, also not too bad, right? We have all the runes we need. But this caged heart reduces damage that exceed, okay, it's like a item that you can equip, interesting. But how do we get it? It says it's from the Meet Your Fight mod. If we click it, it tells us that we can craft it with bones, zombie heart, which we happen to have a few of these, and then a mossy tooth, which again, it says it's a boss drop from Meet Your Fight. Drops from the swamp jaw. Craft a fossil bait to summon. So let's go ahead and see what a fossil bait looks like. Aha! Some of these things look familiar. Lapis, good. Fermented spider eye, good. What are the rest of these, though? A music disc from the Undergarden. Actually, this shouldn't be too hard. We have regalium ingots. We should be able to buy music discs from the guys that wander around in there. So I'm not too worried about this, but what are the other things? Raw dweller meat. Some more Undergarden items. Maybe we have some of this. We'll have to take a peek in our inventory. And then fish bones. How do we get fish bones? Oh, this is a natural altar infusion. with a crumbling catalyst. So we might have to do this. Oh, and a crimson altar. We might have to make one of these in the nether. Andesite. Infused rock. Okay, we can make that. Token of anger. Charged snowballs. Okay, we can do this. The Komodo dragon spit might be a problem. And cloud in a bottle? Ah, we just have to fly up. Okay. Okay. Not too bad looking. I mean, we don't have any of this set up. There's also a different recipe, alchemy table. Let's see what this one does. It's not much different. It just doesn't use the music disc. I guess it uses less materials overall as well. So we might do this one instead. Raw dweller meat. Logged honeycomb, beeswax, and shepherd honeycomb. You know, we do not have a shepherd bee. That's unfortunate. Maybe we have to have a shepherd bee in order to get this raw dweller meat. Let's just take a peek in our storage. Do we have this in here? We don't. So it may be a mob drop. It might not be a mob drop. So we need that, of course. The other thing that I want to look at oh, look. Fossil bait, Undergarden music. Aha. So it's even telling us there. The other thing, though, is the sacrificial knife. So this sacrificial knife will let us do damage to ourselves to fuel the blood altar and not necessarily use the cattle. This thing requires a sword of sapping in the tier 2 blood altar. Okay, how do we get the sword of sapping? From Eidolon. This says, refer to that step in the book. So let's go ahead and take a look at the book. We have the sword of sapping in here, and it needs a shadow gem, 2 soul shards, an iron sword, a gas tier, 2 netherwort, and a potion of harming. Now, it also tells us that in order to actually craft this, we will need 10 hearts worth of living creatures present. I'm pretty sure it's going to eat those creatures in order to infuse the sword. This thing seems like the easiest step, so why don't we start here with the sword of sapping. One more thing to notice here, right? We already know that we need pedestals, you know, the little stone hand-looking things to put these items on, right? But this is actually different, and it has a little different symbol back here, and this iron sword needs to be placed very specifically in a necrotic focus. So we're going to go ahead and make one of those now, and that completed a quest. So this necrotic focus will focus the energy, the magic, whatever, from the mod into that item that's in there, and that's what the sword's going to be. But you can see I've already grabbed quite a few of our items here. We're going to reuse our ritual area downstairs where the skeleton spawner is, but we don't have enough of those pedestals. So let's go ahead and see how many do we have extra. We know that we have, I think it's 2 down there now, so that's 4 in total, but we needed 6. So let's go ahead and make just a few more. They're pretty simple. We'll make extras, because I bet you we're going to have multiple of these ritual stations set up. Just at this time, we'll only have the one. The book said that we need 10 hearts worth of living creature, so a cow is 5. We can see that on the top, so 2 cows should do us. 2 full health cows, that is. Oh no, we lost them. We'll take an extra cow just in case. Alright, that cow took half a heart of damage. That is very unfortunate, but I am glad that we brought the extra cow in, just in case. Alright, so now we have clearly more than 10 hearts in there, which is great. Let's set up all the rest of our items. Now, I don't know if there is a limit to how close these things need to be, so I'm going to try and keep them as close as possible. Now then, I'm realizing I forgot one important item. The potion of harming. So I'm gonna go make one of these, but let's just take a quick peek. Potion, harming, how do we make it? Potion of harming, this is Interesting. You can use a potion of healing or a potion of poison. Potion of poison is just awkward potion and spider eye, and then we put the fermented spider eye in it. I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. We're going to place the potion of harming right there in the brazier, and then all we should have to do is light it. Looks like something's happening. It's been eaten. It's been absorbed. The first item. The second item. You know, it's a little unfortunate. There's probably a sigil in that block, but because it's underneath it, we can't see it. Oh, the sword's gone now, too. A whole bunch of death, sword of sapping. We got ourselves some beef. Look at this. Alright, we want to make sure we don't use this because we are going to convert this, and I don't know if it takes any damage, if it will be unable to be used in our blood ritual later. If we remember, Komodo Dragon Spit is something that we needed in order to make the Token of Anger, which we do need for this Crumbling Catalyst, all of that stuff in order to do the next sort of tier here. Well, check this out. I happened to check on the bounty board quests, and look at 2 Komodo Dragon Spits just happen to be one of the rewards here. So that's why we are now down here, where our skeleton spawner is. We don't have very much time left, but we will quickly kill all these skeletons. Unfortunately, that cow's going to take some damage, too. Okay, bow skeleton kills, and skeleton kills also Token of Joy and Mimicry, so I felt like that was a good one to take as well. And, of course, you just come back to the bounty board in a village, and you just turn it in. Click, and click. Here we go. There's our Komodo Dragon Spit. I come here, and I check these out every so often. There's some interesting things in there, like necrotic bone, you know, interesting things. Now then, I just made a shepherd's pie, and this is very specifically so that we can use our shepherd bee. See, he's just a little baby at the moment, but he does need a shepherd's pie in order to do anything, so we're going to go ahead and place that in here about right there. Oh, achievement, a glorious feast. The shepherd bee, if we take a quick peek at him, very easy to make. An RGB with any kind of flower, and then a water bee with 4 seagrass. The shepherd bee can make raw mutton and beeswax. I put it over here in this and not in our normal apiary building just because I don't think we're going to need a whole lot of them. So there we are. Wanted to give you guys a quick update on Creator. So, I don't know if he's unique or if they're all going to be like this, but I did mention in the last episode that I thought there was some sort of a timer, right? A decay time in which that they would be sent back to the other world, the other dimension, whatever it is. However, Creator is fine. His HP is totally fine. He's just going to sit here and do nothing until we give him the blocks to convert, which is pretty great. If they all work this way, we could easily set them up for automation. If they don't work this way, then we have to deal with them expiring, and so we only really want to put them out when they're in use, which you could also automate as well, but we're not going to, hopefully, need to worry about that. So in order to really finish this out, we still have a lot of steps left over, and I think it's going to help if we come to our to-do board and fix it. So let's go ahead and remove things we've done. We have the basic RF. We have ensure we have enough power. Yeah, we have that right now. We didn't make more crafters. We will want to still do that. We haven't done the industrial foregoing dissolution chamber. We haven't done any of those yet. We don't have really any of this going yet either because we have the one tree farm, but we don't have all the different tree farms. But we do have the power energizing orb, and we have the Fernator, which is great, and we have lots of storage buses. Okay. So I'm going to write down right here our next steps, maybe in order, maybe not quite in order, and we'll be right back. Okay, here we are. So we need the raw dweller meat, and unfortunately, right, in order to make this, we have to do this recipe, which is the more expensive one, because the alchemy table, if we watch this, does not show our orb that we have, right? The orb that we have is the weak blood orb, and unfortunately, we need to make at least the apprentice blood orb, which is already going to take all of this stuff. So here we are. We need to do the item channeling. So we still do need to get the music disc. We need to get the raw dweller meat, right? These are these two things here. And then, of course, we need to make a whole new natural altar. So we have one over there, and I could, move it. But that sounds like a pain. So how about we make a whole second natural altar, and we'll set it up in the nether. And then we need to create the Crimson Altar. So setting that up in the nether will make the Crimson Altar. So let's take a peek at that. It looks like this, right? So this is going to be a whole bunch of nether brick. We're going to need some crimson planks. We need some red nether brick. And then finally, we need these gold nether bricks. And the gold nether bricks aren't really hard to make. They are some brilliant fiber, phytogrow, and nether bricks in our petal apothecary, which is right here. Finally... so I have all that stuff for the Crimson Altar there. And then finally, we need the Crumbling Catalyst, because we cannot make the fish bones without this Crumbling Catalyst. There are a lot of things to do here, but most of it is pretty simple, I think, or something we've already done before. So I'm going to do it, and I'm going to montage it. We'll see if that works out. Montage incoming now.
Mobskill. Was good, Lord.
I hope that montage was fun. We got all sorts of things, and now we're going to have to learn how to use the crumbling catalyst to make those fish bones, and I've got a raw cod with me to do it. But before we do that, I want to show you something else I've made, and I did this off camera. I was using it for some other things, and let me show you this Wand of Symmetry from Create. It needs crying obsidian or obsidian, needs brass ingots, some white stained glass, and then refined radiance. This refined radiance is interesting. Let me tell you how you make it. First, you have to make the chromatic compound. This is mixed with superheat, polished rose quartz, monosteel, infused sunmetal, nocturnal powder, and illumination powder. So these are all things we can now actually craft. So after you get the chromatic compound, right, this is question mark. What you do is you actually drop this in the world and you put light sources next to it, such as glowstone blocks. It will absorb the glowstone and it'll turn into refined radiance. When it does, the refined radiance will float, so make sure you have a ceiling above you. But then this makes the Wand of Symmetry, and let me show you what this little thing can do. So first off, we're going to place it here, okay? And we can shift right click and we can configure this to change how we want to mirror things once, rectangular, octagonal. We can have it, you know, along the Z or the X axis, great. What does this actually mean? This means that if I place a block, it will duplicate it along the mirrored plane. It's also going to break blocks along the mirrored plane. Really cool, and really helps out when you're crafting, you know, or building a multi-block structure like this, which is very symmetrical. And this works as long as it's in your hotbar, but as soon as it's off your hotbar, it no longer works. Okay, the crumbling catalyst, right? It says that you place it on top of any of the 4 lower golden stone bricks. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and place it like right here. I think this looks like a good spot for it. Now, I don't know if this means that normal recipes can no longer work and only these crumbling ones work. We'll find out. It does look like some of the aura has been drained from our very one and only first craft. We only have 2 of these pillars lit, so hopefully that's good enough. And it was. Check this out. Fish bones. Okay, there's one other thing that I want to talk about. I think I made a mistake. This fossil bait, I was saying we have to do this more expensive item channeling craft, but I don't think that's true. Because I don't think we actually need this in order to upgrade the magician's, well, our weak blood orb into the higher tier one. So let's go ahead and try to upgrade that now. Our blood altar needs to have at least 7,000 essence in it, so... Okay, up to 9.2. So I think all we have to do, and let's just double check this, right? In the... Oh, we need to have the tier 2 blood altar first. Okay, we can quickly do that. Let's make sure these cows are out of the way. So all we should have to do is put the blank runes in the corners, then the rune of sacrifice right there in each one. And look, the cow got in the space where we didn't want it. This should now be a tier 2 blood altar, but I don't think we can tell for sure without having the identification rune. So we're just going to see what happens when we throw in our weak blood orb. It does appear to be doing something. We see the blood going down. And I just made a huge derp because I realized this is not going to work. All this is doing is placing that blood in our soul network, which is fine. For some reason, I thought we made this blood orb by putting it in there and having it, like, upgrade. But really, we do need the caged heart, which of course means we do need to do the higher, you know, the more expensive recipe. Which is not a problem. We have everything we need. The sad part is we have to use our really awesome music discs that we used for our montage. But that's okay. We can always go get another one. It was expensive on the regalium, except we have infinite regalium from our bees. Music disc, 1 fish bones, 4 raw dweller, 2 fermented, 2 lapis. That should be everything in there. Blammo. Fossil bait obtained. So now we should be able to spawn this boss. I have no idea what to expect from a boss like this, so let's make sure we spawn it somewhere we don't care if it breaks blocks or destroys villagers or whatever. So this gets me thinking that probably we should create a, like, fighting arena where we can spawn bosses and fight them and all that kind of stuff, but we don't have that today, so I'm just kind of down in this sort of cave spot where I was digging out some stone at one point a long time ago, and we'll just spawn them down here. Wait, do I eat it? Nope. Where is he? Oh, listen to that. He's breaking stuff. I can't tell. Is he above me or below me? Whoa! I also just realized I am not wearing my good pants. He's like in the ceiling. This is quite odd, honestly. I mean, it's like fighting a wither, except for the fact that, like, we can't see him. Okie doke. This is a great fight. At least it has cool music, right? It's like doing dive bomb runs, but again, he's totally in the ceiling. Something we will want to keep in mind is hopefully whenever he dies, he doesn't drop his stuff in a wall where we can't find it. Oh, he's one hit. Alright, so his pattern, he seems to do 3, like, bomb runs, and then he comes flying in for a melee hit. And I'm just kind of, like, watching the mini-map to see where he's at, so I know which direction he's going to come from. Jeez. Quite the fight. He dropped some vines, he dropped an epic shader grab bag, and he dropped the mossy tooth that we need. And, you know, we might need more of these. Look, we can get a fancy disc. This is, of course, the thing that we want. Bone Raker. It's, oh, a hand, +2 to attack damage. What else we got? The Depth Star. That's kind of funny. Short range shockwave, and, Marshy Delight. So, I wonder if, we can create some sort of an arena that can actually keep him in? Or maybe just has to have a big open sky? I don't know. But this might be a guy we fight again. Probably not anytime soon, though. Here comes our Caged Heart. Completed that bit. Now we can go turn this into our upgraded Blood Orb. Let's go do that. Don't jump, bud. Don't jump. Everything's gonna be fine, I promise. Just come back down the ladder. Alright, so Tier 2 and 7,000 should make the upgrade. Hopefully, we have the Tier 2. I don't see why we wouldn't. So here we go. It is also clearly eating the blood in the altar, which is a good sign. Aha! And it is complete. Blood Altar, Tier 2. Nice. No rewards, unfortunately, but that's okay. Now, the Sacrificial Knife. We can make this right away as long as we get 7,000 more in our Blood Altar, because we have that Sword of Sapping on us already. $8.3 should be good. And away it goes. There we are. Sacrificial Knife. So this, right, we have 3.2 in the life essence here. Right click. Take some damage. 3.6. 4.8. It's maybe not as good as sacrificing the cows, but we don't have to keep breeding them. We just have to worry about food. So it's just a different way to do it, and you can also get runes of self-sacrifice that will boost it as well. And with our new blood orb here, we just need to right-click it, and it has now bound to me as the current owner. We've now reached the wrapping up point of our episode, and we have something to go back and check out. That deep thought computer? But yes, I mean, we did a whole lot of, like, magic stuff today, so we spent a lot of time, so if it was pending on something, it should be done by now, right? Let's take a look. Oh, it is different. 42. 42. What do we think that means? Well, while we think about what that means, thanks for joining. This is Mercs Rain signing off.